So this is a quickie rant slash review on the Kriss MagX 25 plus round extended magazine. And this was made by Kriss to feed their Vector SMG, and it was sort of like smart and stupid at the same time. On the one hand, it's smart to make your SMG run an existing magazine spec, which, you know, has a very good reputation for reliability, is broadly available, etc., etc. On the flip side, making it so that you can only either run 13-round Glock factory magazines or sort of hodgepodged, you know, extended magazines, Glock 30s with these extensions, Glock 21s with these extensions, less brilliant, because these extensions do not work as well as would be required for the Kriss Vector to work as advertised, which is to say as a weapon system, right? Not as a, well, novelty toy, screw with it, play Call of Duty, whatever, but as a, you know, your life depends on this working and being idiot-proof kind of liability. Loading this magazine to 25 rounds or more resulted in a minimum of 4 failures to feed in my testing. And that's totally unacceptable. And I should also add, not all of these failures to feed were just, it couldn't get, you know, the next 230 grain hard nose up in time, but most of them were, in fact, the round didn't come up at all and was sitting loose on top of other rounds in there because the follower was unable to lift the rounds at any speed. The magazine had to be stripped and banged on something in order to release whatever the follower was stuck on. And this was true of any load you put in this magazine that causes the follower to cross the threshold. So basically, more than like 14 or 15 rounds, something like that. It's a little hard to tell exactly where it is. And to be fair, I am half the idiot on this one, because if I had known that the magazine was designed as can be... Excellent, the instructions blew away. If I'd known the magazine was designed to hold 30 rounds, as can be told by the witness holes, but says 25 plus, I would have realized, or should have realized, that in fact, the manufacturer knows the magazine doesn't work reliably, but thinks that if you load only 25, it's good enough. And then if you get to 30, well, then maybe it won't work. So there's that. Another problem the magazine has, and this has to do with disassembly and reassembly, which you'll discover if you're trying to troubleshoot this by swapping it between Glock magazines to see if maybe you just have one quote-unquote bad Glock magazine or if it's all of them, is this. So Glock magazine base plates, which technically this doesn't require to function, although it sort of, there's a little issue with gripping the bottom of it if you have like a recessed lip, but okay. Glock magazines have little nubs on the side which reach out and grab that. Now, the way you're supposed to release them on a factory Glock magazine, because it's hollow at the bottom, is by squeezing the sides of the mag in. But because this, you know, is covered over at the bottom, that base plate is actually quite a pain in the butt to come off and actually damages the nubs on your base plate when you do it. So not only does the magazine not function, in testing it and reversing the process to get your gun back into a functional weapon system, you do damage the base plate in doing that. Now, I realize some people say, well, you know, the magazine, you know, spring base helps retain the base plate in the standard Glock magazine, so some people cut the retention nubs off. Yes and no. Again, it depends on how reliable you want your gun or your magazine to be. If you drop your magazine on a hard surface, I don't want to depend on just that when I have another feature here. You know, so there you go. On the whole, then, I guess I would say, you know, as a novelty, or if you want to practice failure to feed drills and, you know, banging your magazine on something, then this is an excellent product. In that regard, it functions very well because it will unreliably feed rounds to an excellent degree. Unfortunately, as a weapon, can't recommend it. Does not work in that, to borrow a nut and fancy phrase, POU, philosophy of use. It's not reliable enough to function as a weapon. And even if you could get it to the point where you could feed 25 rounds with less than 4 failures to feed, you'd still have a real problem, because, you know, something like this, you know, a standard Glock magazine, you can go thousands of rounds between failures, and to now bring it into where you know, well, maybe it'll fail every other mag or every couple mag, it doesn't do. I should also add that while this thing seems really tempting, I think they cost like $35 or something like that. While this thing seems tempting at, you know, a sub $50 price, you should realize the cost in this isn't in the, you know, in the plastic and the spring and, you know, the cardboard packaging. The cost in this is in the ammunition you waste trying to figure out how the hell it works. It, you know, what's 45 go for? Like 30 cents a round now? I mean, it's ridiculous. So, yes, this is not a product I would recommend. Not a good product. And I will update this video to see how Kriss responds to all of this. I will note, I just realized, this says right here, mag pull design. I never noticed that before. I guess that means Magpul does make a genuinely garbage magazine product, finally. For what it's worth. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you at the next video.